Welcome back to Phoenix English classes. Today we are going to start with the 9th video of the series. The story is The Enemy, which is prescribed in class 12 CBSE board English core. The book is Vistas. Up to now we came to know about Dr. Sadao and Hana suffering on account of what they were doing for the enemy soldier. The problem was beyond computation, yet the poise and passivity of Dr. Sadao remained untouched. He was not only a marvelous doctor, he was not only a marvelous surgeon, but he was also a very patient and passive man. There was a kind of defiant fixity in his character, in his personality. We come to know about another development in their story, and that was a call from the general. Hana was scared as anything, but after some while, after some time, after a few minutes only, it was proved that it was a call from the general, and he had called Sadao to attend him because he was in pain. Dr. Sadao went there and he tells everything about what had happened, how he carried the man to his home, and he tried to justify what he was doing as a doctor for the enemy soldier. And contrary to the thought and contrary to the belief of the other nationalists and patriots or the readers, the general takes it as a very light thing. It is not so grave as we think, that we are helping an enemy soldier and this is a traitorship. No, this is not like that even in the eyes of the general. And because the general wanted Sadao's help as a doctor, he had already 2 attacks, and in 3rd attack he might survive, but it was not sure that he would survive after the 4th attack, or he could outlive that 4th attack, and for that he wanted only Sadao. Let's continue with the same story. Sadao and general, both are talking there. The scene is same. The general shook his head. I had rather not be the test case, he said. He felt suddenly weak and overwhelmed with the cares of his life as an official in time such as these, when repeated victory brought great responsibilities all over the South Pacific. Here the general, after knowing all the incident that had happened and after realizing his own need of Dr. Sadao, he shook his head and said, no, I don't want to be a test case for the doctors who are trained in Germany. Germany is a friend nation, America is an enemy nation. Japan and America are face to face now. They are fighting a battle. This is Second World War. Even then, we cannot believe a doctor, a professional who has the ethics like the Germans had. We may have the friendship with anybody, but the greatest thing that we rely on is the philosophy. That is the most important thing for life. And he didn't want himself, the general didn't want himself to be a test case in the hands of the surgeons who are trained and follow the same ethics as they do in Germany. The operation is successful, the patient has died. That kind of a philosophy. And he felt suddenly that he had grown weak and he was overwhelmed with the cares of his life. He became emotional on himself, that what would happen if I die in such a situation when in my leadership, in my generalship, there are victories after victories for Japan. It will not be patriotism that you are losing the life of a general who is a victorious general, who can bring you more victories, only because his doctor has served some enemy and you are going to kill the doctor. That was the ethics that might be followed by the patriots. Always remember, reasoning is the thing that should be followed. Patriotism after a degree becomes madness. And the victories that he had and was continuing with it, that had brought greater responsibilities for the general. It means the survival of the general was of greater importance, and the survival of an enemy soldier or tending or treating an enemy soldier was not so great a crime if it was done by the doctor who was attending the general also. It is very unfortunate that this man should have washed up on your doorstep, he said irritably. I feel it so myself, Sadao said gently. What to do, what not to do? This question is such a thing that always there in the life of everybody. The greater responsibilities, the bigger posts, the greater dilemma. It is always there. Now general was also in a fix, what to do, what not to do. If I follow the rules, the laws of emergency, then the doctor should be punished. The minimum punishment should be capital punishment. But in that case, I will not survive too. What has happened? Had it not been that the province had decided not to send that enemy soldier in front of the doorstep of such a doctor who thinks that saving life is the only duty he had in the world, he was irritated and said, it would have been better if that enemy soldier did not wash the shore in front of your house. Neither you will be in a dilemma nor I. But it had happened. We have to face the situation. Dr. Sadao agreed. He said, yes, I do think so. But what is done cannot be undone. Neither we can change his washing ashore in front of my doorstep, nor we can change what I have done for the enemy soldier, and now as a result of it he is surviving. It would be best if he could be quickly killed, the general said. Not by you, but by someone who does not know him. I have my own private assassins. The general has a very good solution of all this puzzle, of all this dilemma. He says we can mend it. What is done cannot be undone, but we can mend it. And he has an idea that is always there with the soldiers, that is always there with the army personnel. They have a single idea: if there is a problem, kill the man. He says, it's okay that you have done your duty, and because you have told an army general about it, let me handle it like me. There will be no dilemma if he is being killed. But don't worry, you don't have to kill him, because you have saved your life, you have saved his life. It may be, and it will be, that you would not be able to kill that man. I am telling you about killing him. He should be killed because he is an enemy soldier. But because you are in such a state in which your conscience would not allow that a man to whom you have saved should be killed by your own hand, don't do it. You need not do it. It will be done. It will be done, but not by you. it will be done by someone else, with the hands of someone who even does not know him. From an unknown person, he will be killed. And for that, I have jolly good shikaris. I have assassins, I have murderers. They are cold-blooded. They murder anybody on my orders. I will send my assassins, I will send my murderers, and they will do it neatly because they are the experts of it. Suppose I send 2 of them to your house tonight, or better, any night. You need not nothing about it. It is now warm. What would be more natural than that you should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open to the garden while he sleeps? At once the general's mind makes up a very good plan, the plan of assassination, the plan of murder. He says, suppose 2 men enter your house tonight, not today. 2 men who are unknown to everybody, you do not recognize them. The enemy soldier is living in our country and he does not know anything about such people or any people. They are unknown to everybody. They are neither the soldiers, neither they are policemen. They are only professional killers. Suppose that they enter tonight. If you don't agree tonight, it may be on some other night. It may be day after tomorrow or the next day, whenever you like. And because this weather is summer season, it is too hot at night also. It may be that you take care of the patient and leave the window that opens to the garden open. He says that what you have to do is very simple, because it is hot nowadays. You can open the window of the patient's room that opens towards the garden, and it will be easier for the killers to come from that window, and they will easily kill the man in the dark of the night. That is my plan. The problem ended. Neither the man survives nor the problem, and he would be killed in his sleep. Don't worry, will be done neatly. Certainly it would be very natural, said Sadao agreed. In fact, it is so left open every night. Good, the general said, yawning. They are very capable assassins. They make no noise and they know the trick of inward bleeding. If you like, I can even have them remove the body. What could the doctor do? He said, yes, this is the best way we can adopt. This is the best thing we can do to save our conscience. I don't have to kill him, and your assassins, your killers, your murderers will do it because they are professionals. They will do it easily, and it would look like a natural thing that has happened. Someone enters the house, perhaps it would be his motto of robbing the house, and he found a man who was sleeping there and they finished him. And he said, it will not be difficult for me to open the window of that room towards the garden to let the murderers enter, because we are already doing it. To provide him the fresh air from outside, we do it every night. We don't have to do anything that is unusual. It will be done because it is being done every day. General, it seemed that he was tired of talking about all this, yawning like this. Okay, that's very good. They are very capable assassins. Don't worry, my assassins are very good. They are very skillful murderers and they will make no noise. While doing their business, while killing a man, they will make no noise, and they are so skillful that they will kill the man and he will die because of internal bleeding. Means we are not going to spoil your bed, your carpet, etc. The blood will not come out. And if you agree, if you want, we can serve you moreover. We can give you another service. I will say to them that they will remove the body from your house also. You don't have to inform to anybody that there is a body in your house, because they will not only kill the man, but they will carry the dead body away with them, and you need not worry about anything. That was what they wanted. Sadao considered that perhaps would be best, Excellency. That perhaps would be best, Excellency. He agreed, thinking of Hana. Sadao thought for a moment and he said, Your Excellency, it is your grace that we don't have to remove the body on the next morning. That will be the best part of this assassination, that your assassin should come, they will kill that man, that enemy soldier, not only kill that enemy soldier, but they will take care of the carpet and the bed also, and they will remove the body from there. We don't have to do anything. He said this only because he was thinking of Hana, and somehow he wanted to make Hana free of any kind of tension that she was taking at that time on account of his presence, the enemy soldier's presence in the house. He left the general's presence then and went home, thinking over the plan. In this way, the whole thing would be taken out of his hands. He would tell Hana nothing, since she would be timid at the idea of assassins in the house. And yet certainly such persons were essential in an absolute state such as Japan was. How else could rules deal with those who opposed them? Another secret of Japan of the time, not of today, is being revealed here. After that, after this plan was considered and it was finalized that it will be done, the killing will be done, he left general's presence. Sadao left from there. He went home and he was thinking about the plan, and in this way he was thinking that everything will be go off his hand, and he decided that he is not going to tell anything about this plan to Hana, because she is already taking a stress, and this idea of assassins in a home, in a house, that can disturb the house lady. So he will leave the things as secret and he will not reveal it upon Hana, and he thinks that certainly such kind of murderers are always there at the hands, at the disposal of the army generals, officials and the government. Otherwise, how is it possible for the rulers to deal with the people who are opposing these soldiers, these generals, these officials, indirectly such kind of a government? This is a harsh reality. If you think about patriotism, think of what the governments do. They have private assassins. Whenever there is a kind of opposing to the policies, opposing to the action that is taken by the government, the opposition is being silenced. They are the silencers. It happens. That is politics. He refused to allow anything but reason to be the atmosphere of his mind as he went into the room where the American was in bed. But as he opened the door, to his surprise, he found the young man out of bed and preparing to go into the garden. For some time, he did not allow any of his reasoning to come out, and he went directly to the room of the enemy soldier where he was lying. But to his surprise, he did not found him in the bed, but he was up and he was preparing himself to go out in the garden. "What is this?" he exclaimed. "Who gave you permission to leave your room?" "I am not used to waiting for permission," Tom said gaily. "Gosh, I feel pretty good again. But will the muscles on this side always feel stiff?" Dr. Sadao was disturbed that he is coming out of the room on his own accord. He is not taking permission from me, from the doctor. He said, "What is this? What do I see? Who gave you the permission to go out? Who gave permission to come out of this bed? You cannot do it." The boy simply said, "I am not used to take permission from anybody. I am of such a trade where I do not require any permission for anybody." Now he is taking his own, and he says, "Gosh, I am feeling pretty good now. I can walk, I can talk, I can come out of my bed or of my room on my own accord." He is happy on it because he has regained his strength, and he said, "But there is a problem. There is some kind of stiffness on my side. Will it remain for the whole life?" He wanted to consult his doctor. "Is it so?" Sadao inquired, surprised. He forgot all else. "Now I thought I had provided against that," he murmured. He lifted the edge of the man's shirt and gazed at the healing scar. "Massage may do it," he said, "if exercise does not." Up to now he was thinking about killing the man, not by himself but by the hands of the murderers, what he has planned in the house of the general. And now as soon as the patient said there is some problem, some stiffness in muscles on this side, he forgot everything, that he is going to be killed. If there is a problem, it will be solved out. If you have a pain, this pain will go forever. As soon as the murderers will come, then you will not have any pains. But as soon as he heard about the pains of the patient, he forgot everything. He was curious about the pain. How can it be there? I attended to it. He lifted the shirt and saw the scar on his side, and looking at it, he said that I attended it with the greatest care. It should not be stiff. Yet it is, it means it can be healed up. I have not made a mistake in treatment. It can be healed up. And he told the boy that you require exercise. The exercise will end up this problem of stiff muscles, and if it does not work properly, then a massage there will sure help it out. Don't worry, this stiffness will go. He is saying this thing deliberately without thinking that he is going to be killed on the same night. "It wouldn't bother me much," the young man said. His young face was gaunt under the stubby blonde beard. "Say, doctor, I have got something I want to say to you. If I had not met a Zap like you, well, I wouldn't be alive today. I know that." The boy said, "No, this is not a problem for me. It will not be a problem for me. I can manage this with exercise and massage as you have said." And at that time, Sadao once again looked intently at the face of the boy. His face was gaunt, lean and thin, and he had beard, small beard, and he was telling the doctor that that he wanted to tell him. He said that if I would not have met a Jap like you, Jap means Japanese, surely I would have died. I was in such a condition that I would not have survived for long, and it is my good luck that I have got such an affectionate and caring doctor. This was only pure luck. Sadao bowed, but he could not speak. "Sure, I know that," Tom went on warmly. His big thin hands gripping a chair were white at the knuckles. "I guess if all the Japs were like you, there wouldn't have been a war." Sadao thought that he has already planned the murder of this boy and he is saying that I have saved his life. He could not speak anything. He only bowed to show his courtesy, like you are saying it's my pleasure, sir. Someone says to you thank you and you say welcome or it's my pleasure. In the same way, he did not say, but he bowed. He bent from the middle of his body, from his face, like the Japanese do. But Tom was not to be silent that time. He said warmly that sure, I know it. And his palms were very big, and with that palm he gripped a chair. He said, you are a very good Japanese. If all the Japanese would have been so good at heart as you are, there wouldn't have been a war at all. They would never have fought the Americans, who are affectionate, who are sentimental, who don't want to fight a war. Perhaps, Sadao said with difficulty. And now I think you had better go back to bed. He held the boy back into the bed and then bowed. Good night, he said. Sadao did not say anything. He did not express any opinion of him. He simply said, perhaps you are right. He did not want to contradict and confute that if there are bad Japanese here, then there are bad Americans there also. If they would not have been there, the Americans would not have attacked on us. There may be an explanation, but after that, the contradiction, the confute, the discussion would go on, and finally it would have been proved that the Japanese have done wrong. No doubt, during the Second World War, what was the worst thing? That was the kind of thoughts and the kind of philosophy Japan and Germany and Italy, they were practicing. So he did not confute on it. And now I think you had better to go to bed. And he said, now it is time to go to bed. He said him good night and he helped him to go into the bed. And in this way, this evening had come to an end, and now there was a kind of horrible waiting in the mind of Dr. Sadao, because only he is in the house. He is the only man in the house who knows what will happen at night today. Sadao slept badly that night. Time and time again he woke, thinking he heard the rustling of footsteps, the sound of a twig broken or a stone displaced in the garden, a noise such as men might make who carried a burden. Sadao could not sleep that night. It was a very bad sleep that night. Again and again, Sadao woke up. And whenever he woke up, he heard that there was some kind of rustling outside. There was someone on the footsteps of the house. It means the murderers were coming. He heard the noise of the twigs in the garden that is being broken, and he also heard that someone replaced the stone from one place to the other, and he heard the noise such as men might make who carried burden. Then he thought that he could hear the noise like someone is dragging a body and then they are trying to carry it away. He heard everything. The next morning he made the excuse to go first into the guest room. If the American were gone, he then could simply tell Hannah that so the general had directed. But when he opened the door, he saw at once that it was not last night. As soon as it was morning, Sadao took excuse to go first in that room in which they had that American soldier. The reason was simple. He wanted to go into the room first because he knew the man had already been killed at night and he was carried away by those assassins who had come at the orders of the general. He knew everything. He knows that I will open the door and will find nobody in the room, and then I will tell everything to Hannah, what has happened and where the burden of the house, where the stress of the house had gone. He was thinking about it, but to ensure the things, he entered the room. As he enters the room, he was surprised to see that the man was there, fully alive. There was not even a scratch on his body. He was hale and hearty. It means it was not the last night. He thought before sleeping that it is the last night he is sleeping, and after that he will never wake up. And now when he is opening the door, he has come to know that this was not the last night for the boy. Perhaps the next night or the following night, maybe the last night. There on the pillow was a shaggy blonde head. He could hear the peaceful breathing of sleep, and he closed the door again quietly. When he opened the door, he found that the boy was sleeping peacefully on his pillow, and he was breathing properly. Everything was all right. There was not even a scratch on his body. Nothing has happened. The butchers, not butchers, the murderers, the assassins did not come. He is asleep, he told Hannah. He is almost well to sleep like that. What shall we do with him? Hannah whispered her old refrain. Sadao shook his head. I must decide in a day or two, he promised. Sadao came back and said that he is still asleep. He told Hannah. And I think he is used to sleeping so soundly as ever. At this, Hannah whispered. She said, what we are going to do of that boy? Have you thought anything about how you are going to dispose of the matter? Sadao said, okay, I will take 1 or 2 days to decide what can we do about this soldier. He did not reveal anything. He did not tell Hannah about the plan. He did not want to disturb Hannah. But certainly he thought the second night must be the night. There rose a wind that night, and he listened to the sounds of bending boughs and whistling partitions. He thought that if it were not the previous night, it will be the today's night. That will be the last night of the soldiers. The murderers will come and they will do their job. The night was noisy enough because wind was blowing too fast. It was blowing as the galing game. And he listened to the sounds of bending boughs and whistling partitions, whistling curtains. He could easily understand that because the door of the window is open, that's why the strong wind is coming inside, and the blinds, the curtains were whistling. Hannah woke too. Ought we not to go and close the sick man's partition? She asked. No, Sadao said. He is able now to do it for himself. But the next morning, the American was still there. And because the wind was blowing too fast, strong wind was there, Hannah also woke up and she said that this is the sound of the window and the curtains of the enemy soldier's room. Why shouldn't we go and close the window so that we might not be disturbed in our sleep? Sadao said, no, we should not go there because now he is well enough. He has the strength enough to do what he wanted with the window. He did not go there to close the window only because he wanted the assassins to come from that window if the boy does not close it. But on the next morning, the same thing happened. He entered the room and found that the boy was still alive, not only alive, but he was more hale and hearty. Then the third night, of course, must be the night. This time, Sadao said, if it was not done on the first night, on the second night, surely it will be done on the third night. Of course, the assassins will come today. The wind changed to quiet rain, and the garden was full of the sound of dripping eaves and running springs. Sadao slept a little better, but he woke at the sound of crash and leapt to his feet. The third night was also a very disturbing night. This night there was no strong wind, but it was rainfall, and the voice of the rain could be easily heard from the bedroom of Sadao. He slept a little better also. But when he heard some noise, there was some sound of crashing something towards the garden, just outside the window of the boy's room. He leapt on his feet. He knew that the assassins had finally come. What was that? Hannah cried. Hannah also woke up. She said, what was that? What kind of a sound was that? Something being dropped, something being crashed. The baby woke at her voice and began to wail. Not only the man and wife, but also the infant woke up and he started crying. I must go and see. Hannah was now very careworn, but he held her and would not let her go. Sadao knew that it were the assassins who had in the room and the action was taking place. That's why there was the sound of the crash, and if she goes outside, she will certainly look towards the room of the enemy soldier, and it will not be good that she looks at the enemy soldier being killed. Don't go, he muttered. Don't go. He said, no, you need not go. His terror infected her and she stood breathless, waiting. There was only silence. Together they crept back into the bed, the baby between them. Because there were the expressions of terror on the face of Sadao and he was terrified, he was breathless, Hannah understood that something was wrong. But she did not speak. Sadao did not speak anything. Together they crept back into the bed and they had their baby in between them. So this was all for today's video. Wait for another video. That will be the last video of this series, and I would like to remind you, don't forget to read what is written in the description. Don't forget to write your queries, your doubts in comment box. Keep liking, keep subscribing and keep watching all the videos carefully. They are going to be very helpful for your board examinations.